Last season, AC Milan won their third consecutive championship and the Champions League with a spectacular 4-0 victory over Johan Cruyff's dream team from Barcelona. But how hungry is manager Fabio Capello's team to win more titles? One player is definitely 100% committed. Left-back Paolo Maldini opens the season with this spectacular goal. In the absence of Marco van Basten, who is still suffering from a serious knee injury, a defender steps into the breach. Let's enjoy the replays of this magnificent goal once again. What a start to the new Serie A season. Last season, Milan needed just 36 goals to win the title, as their defense conceded only 15 goals. Opinions differ as to how much of this was down to goalkeeper Sebastiano Rossi. Here, he is unable to hold on to a shot from former Milan player Mario Bortolazzi. Dutchman John van 't Schip is on hand to equalize for the visitors. So, at least today, Fabio Capello's plan is not working, and a second goal is needed to secure the first 3 points, which have been awarded for a win in the Italian league since this season. As already mentioned, Van Basten is still sidelined with injury, and it is questionable whether and when he will be able to return to the pitch at all. Frenchman Jean-Pierre Papin has joined Bayern Munich, which has been coached by Giovanni Trapattoni since this summer, and the remaining strikers, such as Marco Simone and Paolo Di Canio, were at least unable to pose a threat today, and midfielders Boban and Desailly lacked the necessary precision in their attempts, so the champions had to settle for a point in their opening match against Genoa. Inter won the UEFA Cup in 1994, but things did not go according to plan in the league. For a long time, the team was even in danger of being relegated and ended up in 13th place in the table, which is of course far below their own expectations. The start of the new season, however, is promising. Ruben Sosa scores this magnificent goal after an assist from Dennis Bergkamp. Another spectacular goal in this still young season, but the joy was not to last too long. Torino, which defeated Real Madrid on its way to the UEFA Cup final in 1992 and won the Italian Cup in 1993, lost important players such as Roberto Musi and Enzo Francescoli in the summer, but the new signings give cause for optimism. Left-back Pessotto crosses the ball, and striker Ruggiero Rizzitelli, who left Roma after 6 years, scores his first goal for his new team. Together with Ghanaian Abedi Pele, who won the Champions League with Marseille in 1993, and center-forward Andrea Silenzi, he forms the Granata's new offensive line. But Inter responded immediately and ultimately came out on top today. After Orlandini's free kick went too far, the ball landed at Dennis Bergkamp's feet. The Dutchman didn't hesitate and shot straight away. With 8 goals, the superstar played a major role in Inter's UEFA Cup triumph, and this year he wants to make his mark in Serie A as well. In any case, the start was a success, with Inter winning 2-1 against Torino. Juventus, which won its last championship title in 1986, strengthened its squad considerably over the summer, but the team, with new signings such as Deschamps, Ferrara, and Sousa, had to wait a long time for the winning goal in Brescia. After an outstanding World Cup, Romanian Hagi left Brescia for Barcelona. But thanks to goalkeeper Balata, the promoted team still seemed to be on course to earn a point against the favorites. However, in the final minutes of extra time, it was Roberto Baggio who scored the goal of the day with a solo effort, reminiscent of his performances in America that summer. The Bianconeri, under new coach Lippi, celebrated a successful start to the season after all. Brescia will have to earn its points against other teams, and will be difficult to beat if it can build on its courageous defensive performance. After causing a sensation with spectacular attacking football for 3 years, Foggia now has to cope without its successful coach Zdenek Zeman, who has left the team to join Lazio. In the opening game against their rivals Roma, the team fell behind in the first half. The home side, led by stars Giannini, Alder, and Balbo, are aiming to return to the UEFA Cup with new players such as Daniel Fonseca and Francesco Moriero. Foggia's new coach Enrico Catuzzi will have no choice but to improve his team's defense. In the past, outstanding offensive players such as Beppe Signori and Brian Roy were able to compensate for a lot. But there are signs that the current team does not have quite as much quality. For Roma, it's not even the strikers who have to do the job today, as the goals are coming from midfield. Piacentini scores to make it 2-0. Nevertheless, what we have seen in previous years continues. Games involving Foggia are usually particularly entertaining, and fans get to see spectacular moves and goals. After a misplaced pass, De Vincenzo gets a shot off, and his strike ends up unstoppably in the net. The goal gives the team courage, but it comes too late today, as the Romans take home a 2-1 victory in the end. There is little to see from Zemanlandia at Lazio's opener in Bari. A precise shot from new signing Roberto Baggio, who had already worked with Zeman in Foggia, was enough to secure an unspectacular victory. So far so good, but Lazio will have to improve if they want to play a major role again. Bari performed well on their return to the top flight, even if they were unlucky in front of goal. Parma will try again to upset the established clubs with new signings such as Dino Baggio and Fernando Couto. Against Cremonese, however, despite top strikers such as Zola, Brolin, and Asprilla, it is midfielder Crippa who scores the goal of the day with a magnificent long-range shot. As usual, the visitors will be focused solely on avoiding relegation from the start. Their hopes rest primarily on young striker Enrico Chiesa. Argentinian superstar striker Gabriel Batistuta suffered the bitter blow of relegation to the second division with Fiorentina, but celebrated immediate promotion back to the top flight in the summer. On his return to Serie A against Cagliari, he made a spectacular comeback. After just 6 minutes, the ball hit the back of the net for the first time. This came after new playmaker Rui Costa had been fouled. The Sardinians have been enjoying a good run of form recently, even reaching the semi-finals of the UEFA Cup last season, where they were narrowly defeated by Inter Milan. Shortly before the halftime whistle, Belgian international Luis Oliveira scored to make it 1-1. World champion Marcio Santos had a poor afternoon in his Serie A debut and never got a grip on Oliveira. Here, the striker, who took Belgian citizenship during his time at Anderlecht, escapes him and puts the visitors ahead. Fiorentina were unable to get back into the game. After Rui Costa was substituted due to injury, there was no one to organize the midfield, meaning that the attacks lacked the necessary punch. The visitors, on the other hand, were a completely different story, with Beretta even scoring a third goal in the closing stages to give them a dream start to the new season. After finishing third and winning the Coppa Italia last season, Sampdoria is hoping for another successful season under Swedish coach Eriksson. However, against underdogs Padova, it took until 5 minutes before the end for the team, featuring new signings Zenga, Ferri, and Mihailovic, to score the winning goal through Bertarelli. Reggiana can once again count on some big names in their fight against relegation. Portuguese player Paulo Futre puts the team ahead in the match in Naples. The assist came from Fernando de Napoli, who had enjoyed great success with the home team alongside Diego Maradona. The squad also includes Nigerian World Cup participant Sunday Olise, among others. Last year, coach Martello Lippi led Napoli back into the UEFA Cup. After his departure to Juve and the sale of players such as Di Canio, Ferrara and Fonseca, the newly assembled team probably needs some time to get up to speed. Colombian signing Freddy Rincon, who had a disappointing World Cup with his national team, at least manages to equalize. Finally, let's take a quick look at the table. After just one game, it's obviously not very meaningful. Leaders Cagliari face champions Milan next week, while Inter play Roma in the big game on Sunday evening. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.